Being a doctor is one of the hardest things that anybody can do. And when I say being a doctor, it also means working in the healthcare field because there's a lot of things that we don't know until it's, some of us, we feel like until it's too late. But uh, my name is Dr. Isang. I'm a cardiologist, and it took me 14 years to get to where I am right now. If I could do it differently, I probably would still do it the same way because despite all of this, it's been a blessing, but there's just certain things that you don't get taught. And the first one is just the time. And it's not just time that it takes to become a cardiologist, it's more the time away from the things that you don't think is matters until you look back and you wonder if anything could have been done differently. For instance, I missed my sister's graduation. I've missed a lot of graduations. I've missed a lot of weddings. I've missed a lot of things that formed memories that I don't have any part of. I remember being at medical school when my family and close family friends were celebrating Thanksgiving together. And unfortunately, that is almost like PTSD for me right now because all I remember is the memory of watching them on the screen while they were having a great time. And we ended up moving to different places of the world and in the world in the United States, and till this day I still remember missing out. So one thing that doesn't get talked about enough is the time away, especially for me because I went to medical school in the Caribbean at Ross University. At that point it was in Dominica, and now it's currently in Barbados. So I was in a different time zone. I was in a third world country, which wasn't a shocker for me, but there was still something about being close to your family, which I didn't have. My sister went to medical school in the States, and in the same place where I went to undergrad, she went to medical school and undergrad, and our parents lived about an hour and a half away from that school, which is East Tennessee State University. So there was a beauty in just having your parents that close that I never had, and it was also the frustrations with being in a Caribbean graduate, which itself has its own issues that we can talk about a little bit at a later time. But my parents were not able to come to my graduation because Ross University's graduation was in Florida, and just with the timing and everything, unfortunately, just wasn't able to make it to that. So it's the stress of the things missed, time missed, and unfortunately for me, graduations that were missed, both me missing family members and family members missing mine. The second one is the one that's not talked about enough, and that is the finance that comes with graduation, the finance that comes with medical school. Medical school is expensive, especially if you're not on scholarship. So I think one thing that I wish, I'm trying to take off my socks. I've been wearing compression socks, and sorry. Medical school is expensive for me. I think I have over 400 grand in debt. Thankfully, was able to get everything straightened up, and currently in the 10-year repayment program that I'm hopeful, knock on wood, will still be here for the next 2 years because I am prompt to be graduating or to be finished my loan repayment by September to October of 2026. But medical school is very expensive, and we have like this finance session, and it's just not enough. I think they should have a really dedicated class, maybe for a few weeks, to just stress the importance of understanding your finance, understanding the repayment process. Thankfully, we do have this 10-year repayment, and a lot of my friends are finally getting their loans paid off, which helps a lot in knowing that mine will be paid off soon. Just 97 out of 120 payments. So getting there, and hopefully can in the future make a post about I finished paying off my loans, and thankfully I'll be finished paying off my loans before the age of 40. So I'm thankful for that. And I think another aspect of medicine that is just tough is especially in the field that you're working with, you don't understand how much death impacts you. You don't understand how much seeing someone take their last breath can impact you. When I started internal medicine residency, I was between a couple of specialties in what I wanted to subspecialize in. And one of them was pulmonary critical care medicine, but I did a long rotation in it, longer than it probably should have been, over 4 weeks, and it was enough for me to know that there was just a lot of death and what it did to me mentally. And I don't think, I think there's better ways that we can handle that stress. I think there's better ways that we can provide resources for people, because not everyone is usually able to cope like I did, and I didn't have the best coping mechanism for it either. But you read a lot of articles on individuals, medical students, doctors who take their life in the process, and we do a pretty poor job in overall caring for our students, caring for our doctors when it comes to depression, when it comes to mental health in medicine. I think we're doing a better job now, and we're understanding that this is this is something that really needs to be started on from day one, and letting people know what to anticipate. And thankfully for me, my mother is a psychiatrist, so she was able to give me a little bit of insight, but I was also able to see it from her when she was in residency. And that's it. I think the finance, the stress, and how we cope and how we manage with death and depression in medicine is something that we're still learning, something that we're still grinding, something that we're still trying to be the best. And I'm hopeful and I'm thankful that now people are speaking more about it. Our institution impacts that, like talks about it significantly. We have so many resources. Unfortunately, not every institution is like ours. So I am thankful, but it is something that needs to be talked about more. Being a doctor is amazing. Just don't make being a doctor be the only thing that defines you, because you will have good days and bad days. Those bad days can be really dark and really bad. But if you have things that surround you and support you, strong family, friends, support system, medicine is beautiful. This is Dr. Isang, just giving my 2 cents.